all these cups of tea everywhere. Just spilling somewhere. Soles of the feet together. Let those knees fall out to the side. Opening up into the inner thighs. Nice to get the adductor stretch. Doesn't have to be super intense for this. We're going to be here for a while, 5 minutes maybe, just often just arriving. So find a space that's accessible. If it gets too much at any point, by all means just straighten the legs, come out of it, because the intensity may well intensify throughout the duration. So just taking a moment just to settle. You can put blocks on the outside of the thighs as well, it takes some of the tension off. You've got a couple of bolsters, you could use bolsters on the outside of the thighs as well, it releases some of the tension, it's just an option. If you feel that it is going to be too intense. It's not officially a pose. Try not to force, try and just relax into the body here. So adjusting the shoulders, adjusting the hips, a little wiggle of the jaw, a little release of the toes, of the fingers. Just taking a moment just to settle, soften onto the mat. Just letting go of the day, letting go of the week. Softening the muscles around the eyes. Starting to take the awareness just around the tip of the nose. Just exploring any sensations passing around the nostrils, the upper lip. Maybe quite obvious, maybe quite subtle, just tuning in. A bit of focal meditation. Just preparing the mind for the practice. Starting to let go of that external stimuli. Letting go of that outside world. Just starting to drop into your little world, your little bubble. It's easy for the mind to wander off. Take quite a while for the brain to settle. Even if it doesn't, it's not the end of the world, to be fair. You're just discharging all the stuff that needs to be discharged that you may not normally get a chance to discharge. Even if your brain is still buzzing after 90 minutes. You've done a 90-minute download and got rid of a load of crap. That's good. Just observing the flow, maybe drawing the awareness up through the nose, through the nostrils, observing the sensations, maybe changing the temperature, cold and warm as you breathe in and out. Is that change in temperature isolated inside the nose? Do you feel it across the front of the nose as well, almost like you're breathing through the skin potentially? Sure, that's just an illusion. It's probably just feeling the sinuses across the top of the nose, the side of the nose, above the nose. Just exploring the sensations and how the breath isn't localized. It kind of spreads inside and outside the body with the sensations and its effects. Sensations through the airways, down into the throat and out of the throat. Humidity change. Are all the sensations the same in the throat as the nose? Do they change? Do they overlap? Sensations change as the air leaves the throat and enters into the torso. Probably lose that coolness of air, that humidity, dryness of the breath. What do the sensations turn into in the main body as you breathe in, as you breathe out? Just picking up on the obvious sensations to start off with. Maybe just starting to explore where the sensations move from one to another and how they change from one to another. Do they stop suddenly and then start? Do they fade away, overlap, transition smoothly? No right or wrong answer. Just an exploration. Again, just giving that little monkey mind, that brain, something to do. Taking us away from the thought and into that dharana, that focus with concentration. Practice to build up to meditation, which is the focus without concentration. Sensations in the body. Is it internal or is it external? Feel the skin stretching, you feel the movement of the clothes over the skin. You feel pressure in the muscles, in the back, across the skin, maybe even into the shoulder blades, the bones a little bit here. Where's the breath moving to? How's it getting there? How does it feel inside the body, outside the body? There's always something to feel. What we're doing tonight is just connecting our brain, our mind, our awareness right into the body. Into some of the subtleties. Awareness into any points of contact between you and the floor. Back of the head maybe, shoulders, the hips, outside of the feet. If the hands or knuckles were on the floor, those little points of pressure on the back of the arms. Just exploring the differences in pressure, the differences in sensations. Some quite localized, some quite light. Some quite localized and quite intense. What are you feeling into? Is it just skin deep? Is it muscular deep? Do you feel through to the bone maybe? The outside of the ankles, the knuckles, back of the head potentially, hips maybe? Again, no right or wrong to what you feel, just exploring what you do. Differently mentally, emotionally, energetically and physically, so we're probably going to feel slightly different things. Our awareness is going to be drawn to different things. Our poses are going to look slightly different. Our left to our right is going to look slightly different, so try and release any comparison. Try and release any judgment throughout the practice. Awareness from these points of contact between you and the floor, and just moving up through the body, exploring as the pressure eases from these points of contact what sensations replace them, if any. Check into the body, there might be areas of stillness where we feel nothing. The pressure eases and softens into something else. Contact of the air on the skin can be pressure. Again, the clothes on the skin. Maybe it's just a temperature change. Moving across the body and also moving through the body, maybe tuning in with the organs of the body. Can you feel the heartbeat? back of the body really heavy. Is the front of the body starting to feel a little bit lighter, a little bit more free. Again, just try to tune in where sensations change from one to another. Where does the temperature change across the skin? When you feel a breeze, if there's any breeze coming across, air movement across the skin, how does it feel? Where does it change? Give the toes a nice gentle wiggle. The fingers a nice gentle wiggle. If the knees are still out to the side, just try and reach down with the hands, just assist the legs back together. Nice and relaxed and soft into the hips, and pull the knees in towards the body. Give yourself a little hug again. Keep awareness into the transition as that tension eases from the inner thighs. What does it feel like when you release that tension? Give yourself a nice little hug. You can rock side to side, you can stay in stillness, you can straighten the legs. Just keep your awareness in the body as you move, as you transition. Just keeping your eyes closed. And rolling off to the left side and find your way out. So a comfortable seated position. Just bring the hands to heart center. I just want to say hello. Namaste. Welcome. And we're going to start off in a deer pose. Still. Maybe slightly leaning off to the left side so we can create space to take the right knee off to the right side. We're going to take right knee off to the right side. Left knee in front of the left hip. A nice straight line from the left hip through the right hip to the right knee. Okay, I'll square to the top. Nice right. Take the left foot forward a little bit, so we want right angles at the knees as well. So what happens is, if you take that foot back to the thigh, for example, when you deepen into the pose, it's really easy to fold over here. But with the right angle at the knees, when you go that way, you really feel the intensity into that thigh and hip. So it really does make a difference having those right angles. Look forward a little bit more. Come with your weight, still feel it now. That's it, that's it, put forward a little bit. So we've got more accessible is heart up, leaning off to the left side. You might feel a little bit of compression in the right hip. To deepen the pose, you've got two options: go towards the floor, chest towards the floor, and or chest towards that left foot. So this, up on my hands, I can still feel the stretch into that left hip. My heart's facing the foot, but my hands are quite high, I'm on the hands. Got an option to go towards the floor and towards the foot, dropping down towards the floor. You can still feel into that left hip. So explore. As long as you're feeling something around the left sit bone, the left thigh, it's fine. Explore. Because everybody's different, the pose is going to look slightly different. So let go of an alignment mentality and just feel into your hip and feel into your thigh. If this is deep enough for you, then that's fine. Down on the elbows off to the left side. If you're not feeling anything in the left hip, then shuffle the arms across towards the foot. Okay? Makes sense? Bring your foot forward a little bit. Your left foot forward a little bit. This foot. Bring it forward a little bit. That's it. That's it. Good. Use props underneath the arms if you need to. Support the body. I don't mind a little bit of energy through the arms. Through the shoulders, maybe just softening the shoulders towards the floor, relax the neck. So allowing the upper body to be nice and heavy. Trying to feel a bit of a stretch around the left sit bone, somewhere around that left thigh. Again, with Yin Yoga, everybody's different, okay? We've got different intensities in our muscles, in our tendons, in our ligaments. We've got different skeletal systems. So So everybody's pose is going to look slightly different. Good. So use props. Props are our friends. Even if it's supporting underneath the forehead and bringing the floor up towards the body, and knocking the bottle over, it's all good. Soft into the hips, soft into the thighs, okay? Yin is a practice of surrender. If nobody's done it before, it's just a practice of exploration. It's a chance to be honest with yourself for starters as well. So don't go so deep into the pose that you're fighting it and you're resisting and all your muscles are tense and it's really uncomfortable. But don't go into a position that you can just quite easily fall asleep into, okay? You get into it what you put out, no? You get out of it what you put into it. It's just an exploration. If it's too intense, back off a little bit. If you can't feel anything, go deeper into the pose. You're more than welcome to raise a hand and I can come around and assist. There's always options for all types of bodies. And then we're just dropping the awareness into the body. Into these points of intensity. It's not supposed to be comfortable, but we want to be able to relax and soften into any discomfort. It really doesn't matter what the pose looks like, it's all about how it feels. You know your body better than anybody else knows your body. This is a chance to get to know it a little bit better. With a clear and open mind. No judgment. No expectation. Just exploration and acceptance. Gently, just peeling away from the floor. It might be that you move the hands off to the left side and the body off to the left side, just to create space more than anything, just to bring that right foot forward. Unraveling the legs. Maybe a little bounce of the knees here, maybe a little wave of the feet. Just observe any difference between the right hip and the left hip and the left thigh and the right thigh. Maybe there's a difference, maybe there's not a difference, just explore it. And when you're ready, we're going to find our way into the other side. So maybe again, just to create space, you can lean a little bit off to the right side to take that left leg out the way. It's a nice straight line from the right hip, the left hip to that left knee. And then that right shin is parallel to our hips. Okay, so we've got a right angle at both knees. It really does make a difference to the intensity in that hip. Then we can explore the depth of our pose. Maybe the arms are falling towards the floor, the chest finds the floor, maybe we're just moving the chest towards that foot, up on our hands. Just because you're closer to the floor doesn't mean you're deeper in the pose. Just because you're closer to that foot doesn't mean you're deeper into the pose. Exploring your body. Deepen the pose, you're heading towards that foot at the front. Deepest variation is chest on the ball of that foot. Find a point that's accessible to you. We've got external rotation of that right hip here, we've got internal rotation of the left hip. The majority of people will probably feel it more in the right hip in this position. Anywhere around that right thigh. Might be a stretch, it might be a little bit of compression into the muscle. It doesn't matter if we're stretching or compressing, we're still able to activate the meridian channels. It's like the energy body moving through the myofascia. Connective tissue throughout the body. It's a liquid crystalline network that connects everything in the body to everything. It's a communication information highway. It calls for nutrients, it delivers nutrients and hydration. It binds everything together. Strong enough to hold it together, but supple enough to be ever changing and ever form, shape shifting. It's a fascinating thing to look at. As a living matter, you can look it up on YouTube. There's videos of myofascia. It really is an interesting fluid, plasma, that moves through the body. And that's the physical representation of the energy body of the meridian channels. The Chinese philosophy focuses on meridian channels. Indian philosophy calls them nadi channels. Just like we've got the physical central nervous system which runs down the spine, and then we've got the peripheral nervous system that branches off that central nervous system. That's a physical representation. We've got that bioenergy, that electrical impulse moving up and down the central and peripheral nervous system. That's the energy body overlapping the physical body. It's just an example of what happens with the fascia and the meridian channels. The fascia is the physical representation. The meridian channels are the energetic body running through that physical matter. That's what we're activating in Yin Yoga. Kind of like acupuncture without the pin. Gently peeling away from the floor. Moving the torso off to the right side, just to create space to bring that left foot forward. Maybe the hands go back here, little bounce of the knees, just awareness into the right and left hips, right and left thighs. Just a little transition, just releasing whatever needs to be released. And rolling down onto your back. One of the good things about Yin is you get a little power nap in between poses, just for the body to unravel. Again, it's being kind of stretched and held for normally a minimum of 2 minutes. We've just done 3 minutes each side there. As the tissue stretches, all gets compressed. You get hydration and nutrients from blood and enzymes and stuff seeping into that deeper tissue, which gives it elasticity not only to lengthen, but also return back to its original form and shape. So that's what the rebounds are about. It's just a chance for everything just to come back to where it should be. Freshly nourished, freshly hydrated. To the body. It's going to roll off to the left side, which is that yin side of the body, and come up to sit. Got a couple of options here. If you want support for the neck, grab one of your bolsters. Well, there's a few options here. You don't have to use a bolster. I'm going to demo your bolster. Bring the bolster up behind the bum. If you want support with the neck, bring the bolster up. See if you can keep the bum on the floor as you roll back down onto the bolster. So open it up through the heart space. If this is too much compression on the lower back, take the bolster out. You can use one of these green blocks, lengthways down the spine, kind of like that. You can put the brown block underneath the green block. You can go as high as you want, just opening up through the heart space. If you want neck support, use the bolster lengthways. If you want the head to drop back, or don't mind the head dropping back, then you've got a couple of bolsters here, which can go widthways like that, and then roll back, and then your head, with the other bolsters, the round bolsters, your head kind of falls off and the head can drop back to get a nice opening through the heart, the throat chakra as well. And then from here we're going to draw the heels in towards the bum as well. As high as possible, heels towards the bum to get a nice adductor stretch, kind of similar to where we started. We're just going for a little bit more intensity here. Softening into the hips and thighs, so a few different variations. You can use bolsters, you can use blocks, any combination. Maybe the arms go out to a T, maybe the arms go up overhead. On your arm position. Again, if the shoulders allow, you can take the arms up overhead. If you put the arms there, but then the shoulders are tight, just let the arms drop out to the side. No right, no wrong. It's not alignment. Surrender is key. Questions, feel free to raise a hand. Got the kidney meridian channel moving up the inside of the legs, goes into the groin. Got a couple of branches coming off. We've got one that goes to the coccyx and then moves up into the lower back around the kidneys. Another one that runs up over the pubic bone, runs up through the body, so it connects to the heart and the lung meridian channel in and around the chest area. So we're getting into it, 3 points of contact here, the inner thighs, lower back potentially, and opening up into the heart space with the kidney meridian channel. This is good for greater perception, rationality. With that connection to the heart, it helps with wisdom as well. Opening up through the heart space, getting into the heart, the myofascia for the heart meridian channel, again that wisdom. It's known as the seat of the soul. So the wisdom comes from that intuitive nature of the heart. So the soul, depending on your terminologies, but it's connected to source, it's consciousness, it's Godhead, whatever you want to call it. It's that little drop, raindrop from the ocean, an individual raindrop, water droplet pulled out the ocean. When it returns to the ocean, it's part of the vast, immense consciousness. When it's taken out, it's just an individual part of the sea, but you can always drop it back in to connect to source. The heart has been seen scientifically now to react before our eyes and our brain have even seen something. And our hearts respond and then send signals up to our brain, which then feeds into the body. So that's where that intuitive nature comes from. It preempts, it learns, it remembers, it understands. Quite often taught to think before we speak. Drop into the heart and feel into a situation. It's a much better way. Follow your heart. Learn to listen to it. We don't need to teach ourselves, we just need to remember. Softening into the hips, softening into the chest. chest, softening into the shoulders, just allowing the body to be heavy. Resistance will creep in, just like thoughts enter into the brain, resistance and tension creeps into the muscles. It's just a case of just overriding it. When we feel it, release. As it comes back, we feel it, release. It's just a practice. Mentally, physically, entwining our energy systems, our emotional body, with our physical body and our mental body. Just a practice. No right, there's no wrong, there's no good, there's no bad. It's just experience. Nice and gently, reaching the arms down again towards the legs if we can reach them, just assist the knees back together. If the head's dropping back, it might be nice taking the hands around the back of the head so you can keep the neck nice and relaxed and just lift the chin towards the chest so we're not straining too much into the neck. Maybe you find yourself coming all the way up to sit. Maybe you just roll off to the left side and find a way of just removing all the props from underneath the back. Again, there's no rush in these transitions, take your time, release the body. And finding our way around onto our back when we're ready. Might be nice, bringing the knees into the body, give yourself a little hug, a little squeeze. Again, listen to your back here, maybe it wants to stay flat, maybe it rounds up. Maybe you want to stretch or do something completely different. It's your transition. Okay, release your body in a way that feels like right for you. When you're ready. Finding your way around into your anatomical position or your variation of a rebound. Leave the space between the feet, leave the space between the hands and the body to soften. And for the body to release. Melts away, maybe the mind just melts away with the body. Roll off to the left hand side. And we're going to bring the knees up in line with the hips. We've got a rough right angle at the hips here. Rough right angle at the knees. So the chest and the shins are facing the same way off the side of the mat. You might want to grab a bolster here and put it on the outside of the right knee. Okay, it's an option. You want a little bit of weight on the outside of that thigh. Another option is to get another bolster and shuffle that left shoulder forward. Open up the right arm off to the right side. You can come around and help you here if you want. But you can put another bolster on that right shoulder, on the right upper arm, as the right arm drops out to the side. So you can use two bolsters here to help weigh down the body if you need it. Again, if you need a hand, you can just raise the hand up and come around together. get both in another position. Rough right angle. Sit the left arm shuffles out in front of the left shoulder. Release the right arm off to the left, right side. Sorry. Opening up through the heart space. If you want another bolster on the outside of that right arm, just let me know. Shuffle that left shoulder forward a little bit. Shoulder forward that way. That's it. Just let's create a new fit space. Exploring every centres of sensation that might be greater than others, and maybe the outside of the right hip, maybe up into that right shoulder, anywhere around the back, maybe the waist, the ribs, might feel a little stretch. You can explore how the pose affects the breath. Maybe explore how the breath affects the pose. Has the potential of getting into all 12 meridian channels, some superficially externally, some more internally. Maybe the outside of that right hip moving down the outside of the right thigh, all grab a meridian channel up through your ribs, side ribs. Maybe into that right pectoral, the right shoulder, down the front of the right arm. Getting into the heart, lung, pericardium as well, meridian channels here, myofascia of those meridian channels. So where the heart and the lungs and the pericardium are protected by the chest cavity, it's not going to be subjected to that gentle twist through the torso, that gentle little reshaping of the organs in the body, which provides a nice gentle little massage into the organs. That massage is mechanical compression, which generates a piezoelectrical charge, again that energy into the tissue, into the myofascia of the organs. And energy connects to the meridian channel, so it has the potential to fire up the meridian channel through the large and small intestine, the stomach, meridian channel, spleen, kidney. The ones that aren't being activated through the muscle and the skin are getting more activated through that internal organ. It has the potential to balance out all 12 of the major meridian channels through the body. Mind explore. Let the body melt away. Attachment to the thoughts, just fall back to the body, back to sensation. the right arm up and over, just releasing the twist from the spine. Maybe that bolster's coming off the knees, you roll onto your back. Again, you don't have to move as quick as I'm talking, I'm staying ahead of the curve. From your back. You might want to stretch tips of fingers down to tips of toes, you might want to give yourself a nice hug, a squeeze. A little counter stretch, circle the knees maybe if you want to release the hips a little bit. Again, just check in. Cool. Before finding your way onto your right side. Bring the knees up in line with the hips. Right angle at the hips, right angle at the knees, so the shins and chest are both facing the wall. Maybe that bolster goes on the outside of the left knee now. Arms to a T where possible. Again, those right angles at the hips, at the knees, really do help the dynamic. Into the body. That's our angle point. There's always yang and yin, and there's always yin and yang. So there's always masculine and feminine involved in whatever we do. There's always a balance. Shift out of balance by all accounts, but there's always a little bit of one in the other. See here, it could be said that the body is in its masculine energy. It's creating a stable foundation, a safe holding space for the potential feminine energy of the mind, which in this instance is free-flowing and dynamic. It's sensual, it's experiencing, it's free to roam and it's wild to go anywhere in the body, so it's free. That's the feminine, free-flowing, sensual experience energy, or the masculine energy in this case, is the body creating a safe space for the feminine to be free and wild and explorative. And all that crazy stuff. So there's always a little bit of masculine in our feminine, always a bit of feminine in our masculine, there's always yin and yang and yin. Yang practice because it's a hot practice, we're building heat in the body, it's energy building up, but at the same time it can be seen as a feminine dynamic because it is free flowing, it's dynamic instead of changing. That's the feminine energy, but the masculine energy is hot. Always yin and yang, always yang and yin. It's never 100% one or the other. That gentle little massage into the internal organs here, we're also stimulating our vagal nervous system, helps raise our vagal tone, sends information up into the brain, releases happy chemicals, oxytocin, serotonin into the brain, helps regulate our nervous system, helps balance out our parasympathetic and our sympathetic nervous systems, Gets into our polyvagal system, which is all about feeling safe, secure, stable. Really helps with our social interactions when we feel safe. If we don't feel safe, we close off, shut down social communication. When we do feel safe, more open, more free to explore and hold conversations and be more social. So it's really good for balancing out those nervous systems. And nice and gently bringing the left arm up and over again, just to release the twist from the spine. That's awareness in your body as you move and roll around onto your back. Maybe you want to stretch tips of fingers down to tips of toes. Maybe you're curling up into a little ball. Maybe you're keeping a flat back and circling the knees again. These transitions really intuitive into your body. You know, we're good at listening to what our body tells us, but we're not always good at acting on what we hear. Sometimes if we get a headache, we just reach for the pills and we take a pill for a headache. So we've heard what the body's saying, but we're not acting correctly. What the body's calling for water, it's calling for food, it's calling for rest. Not calling for medication, it just needs a little bit of assistance. It's just discerning sometimes what we're listening to from the body is telling us something. How we act can be different. Sometimes we don't even act at all. Nice and gently release. Nice anatomical position, just flopping out onto the floor in a nice, available, comfortable position, just allowing your little raindrop of consciousness just to return to that vast ocean of consciousness. To the left side, find your way up to seated, and I'm going to give you the option. If you need to go to the toilet, now's a good time to go to the toilet, because for the next 45 minutes you're just going to be melting into your mat, listening to me waffle on. So if you need a loo, now's a good time. If you don't, then we will. You can lay down on your back again, but maybe just sit up for a minute. Just sit up for a minute. How are you feeling? So next bit, we're just going to do a little bit of breath work. We'll take our breathing, just breathing into the side ribs just for about 10 minutes. Again, it just helps settle the nervous system. Neil will ask to take our breathing because it backles his brain, but that's good. I'll talk you through it. We'll do what we can do. Just explore it again. It's just a practice. It's just an exploration. It's not the end of the world if we're not doing it 100% right. We're just getting into it. Manoeuvring the breath, softening the breath. It helps massage that vagal nervous system again, just to help settle the nervous system. And then we're just dropping into a little bit of Yoga Nidra, a little guided meditation, just scanning the body and go on a little journey. finding your way down into your back. We'll get into a nice position. We want to grab a bolster or try and grab a bolster. We're going to support underneath the knees here. Taking a moment just to release, so maybe pressing into the feet, just lift the hips off the floor, just flattening into the lower back here. A little bit of support underneath the knees. Just creates a nice bit of space for the diaphragm to function to capacity. Maybe just as you're laying on the floor, you can just lift the shoulders and just kind of flatten the upper back down onto the floor. Just taking a moment to settle. Yes, good. Adjusting the hips, adjusting the shoulders, softening the hands. You can rest the hands on the belly, you can drop the arms out to the side, whatever's most available. Just as neutral and back as possible onto the floor. We're just going to start breathing normally. Just observing the airflow in and out of the nose just to start off with. We just want to make a little mental note about how it feels as we breathe through the nose, like kind of observing the temperature maybe and the force of the air moving through. Okay, you're not going to be tested on it at the end, don't worry, we're just observing, just making a little side note of how the breath feels in its normal, natural state. So we're not controlling the breath in any way, we're not manipulating the breath in any way, we are literally just observing that airflow in and out of the nose. We'll come back to this in a moment. The next thing we're going to do is we're just going to drop down into the body and just explore the belly, the chest maybe rising and falling. You know, where is the breath moving to in the body? Quite similar to what we did at the start, we're just exploring. Do we feel pressure into the back here? Do we feel the side of the body kind of expanding and contracting? Are we just breathing into the belly? Are we breathing into the chest? Again, no right or wrong here, we're just exploring. And again, just making a little mental note of how it feels at this moment in time as you're breathing. So awareness in the nostrils and awareness on the torso. And just checking in with how it feels. And I know it can feel a little bit funky when you're not controlling the breath, but you're observing the breath. And you start to think, am I controlling it? Am I not controlling it? Is this a natural breath? Just try and let go of that mind chatter. Just try and experience for the sake of experience. And just feel. The first thing we want to try and introduce here is just reducing the movement up and down, so the belly and or chest moving up and down. We just want to try and restrict that and start to try and move the breath into the side ribs, into the side of the body. Okay, so less up and down movement of the breath and more lateral movement of the breath. So we're just reshaping the diaphragm a little bit. Sounds complicated, but just try and hold in the chest as you breathe in, hold in the belly as you breathe in, and then feel the side of the body expand outward laterally, like a little cobra fanning its neck maybe. That kind of movement into the side of the ribs. And just explore it. If it feels uncomfortable at any point, just come out of it, just return to a normal natural breath, breathe into the belly, breathe into the chest, let the breath come back to normal. You're in full control throughout this practice, okay? So just exploring it, just restricting that up and down movement, trying to feel movement into the sides of the body. So just reshaping the diaphragm again, just applying a little bit of pressure and activation into the vagus nerves. And it doesn't matter if you nail it first time, just explore it. You're going to come out of it, guaranteed. Just come back to it when you're comfortable. When you start to feel this lateral breathing, this side rib breathing, what we want to do is take the awareness back up into the nose as well. We're going to feel the airflow. And we want to try and restrict or soften the airflow moving through the nose. So we're not taking more air in, we're not expelling more air. We're just slowing down the breath. So we're elongating the in-breath, we're elongating the out-breath. And this will slow down that flow of air that you can feel through the nostrils. Trying to focus on that lateral breath, and then trying to slow down the breath. So we're not taking on more air, we're not expelling more, we're just lengthening the breath. This is where it can start to feel uncomfortable, and that's meant to happen. So if it gets too unbearable, just return to a normal breath. Take a few normal breaths. Come back to your safe space. When you feel comfortable, return, lateral breathing, then slow down the breath. Actually reducing the amount of oxygen coming into the body, but we're slowing down the process of which it enters into the body. This fires up chemoreceptors at the back of the brain, which help regulate our CO2 and oxygen levels in the body. So it kind of triggers a little bit of a fear response, so that anxiety can start to fire up. It's a case of overpowering that sensation, that urge to take a deep breath and feed the body and flood the body with oxygen. Just bringing a little bit of control back in, letting the body get to that edge of fear, but staying soft and controlled within that edge. If you need to release, again you're in full control. Again, this helps regulate our nervous systems. We're getting right on the brink of firing up our cortisol release, our adrenaline kick. So we're overpowering that. We're keeping in control, staying in control of the breath. The more we do it, the more the body gets used to it. It enhances our fear response, reduces our anxiety. It was originally designed for asthma sufferers, constantly feeling short of breath even though they were getting enough oxygen. Overactive chemoreceptors. This helps regulate that activation. It's a two-pronged attack for our nervous system, that regulation of the chemoreceptors, as well as the activation of the vagal nervous system. Fighting anxiety, stress, fear response. Really good for insomnia. If you have trouble sleeping, it's great to do in bed before going to sleep. You're quite prone to reacting on stressful days. It's a really nice way to start the day. Settle the nervous system, regulate the nervous system. Minimum of 5 minutes when practicing. And just try and find that lateral breath into the side ribs. Just reducing the movement in the belly of the chest. Just releasing any control now. Just allowing the breath and the body just to return to a nice natural flow. It may stay nice and naturally soft, to be fair. And just releasing control. Taking awareness back to the whole body. Maybe a nice deep breath into the belly, feeling the belly, the chest, the side ribs, the back, maybe even right up into the shoulders, as deep as you can go, as comfortable. And release, nice sigh, however you like actually. One more nice deep inhale in through the nose, expanding to your capacity. Again, it's all going to be different. And releasing. These following words are from Sri Aurobindo and myself. Uncultivated lands produce weeds. We do not want any weeds in ourselves, so let us cultivate the vast field of our nights, of our sleep. To cultivate the lands of our sleep, we can use Nidra to explore our subliminal state from our waking conscious state. We can peek behind the veil, if you will, of our conscious state into the subliminal, our inner world. And when we understand and explore our inner world, then our outer world, our conscious waking state, becomes well cultivated and free of weeds. The same discipline of concentration which enables man not to remain a stranger to the inner activities of the waking state also provides him with a way to escape from his ignorance of the even richer activities of the various states of sleep. By introducing these practices of Nidra, meditation and breathwork, we open up the door to the magic of the outer, along with the even more magical inner worlds of our soul. And the trick with Yoga Nidra is to go deep, but to stay aware. I'm saying that, if you do find yourself falling asleep, don't fight it. Just allow yourself to be. Taking a moment just to settle, adjust if you need to adjust. You are free to find a more comfortable or suitable position on your side, or even seated with support if you so desire. Just somewhere that you can soften and release completely. And there will be moments of silence throughout this practice, so please remain at ease. And if you feel you do need to move, just try and move softly and slowly, as not to disturb your energy too much. And softening your awareness. No place to be. No thing to do. Release any expectation and releasing any judgment. Feeling your body supported by the surface underneath you and starting to go inside. Noticing all the sensations in your body. Maybe feeling the surface underneath you, the temperatures, the textures, Maybe feeling the sensations within the body. Welcoming all the sensations. Welcoming your body exactly as it is right now. Just allowing the breath to move freely and allowing the body to melt away a little further with each exhalation. Just going to take a little journey around the body. When I name a part of the body, just hold your awareness there, experiencing for the sake of experiencing. Starting with the top of the head, the forehead, the left eye, the right eye, both eyes together, the left ear, the right ear, both ears together. The throat, the lips, the nose, back of the head, the nape of your neck, your left shoulder, upper arm, left elbow, forearm, left wrist, palm of the hand, back of the hand, little finger, forefinger, middle finger, index finger, the thumb, the whole left hand, the whole left arm, your right shoulder, upper arm, right elbow, forearm, right wrist, palm of the hand, back of the hand, little finger, fourth finger, middle finger, index finger, the thumb, the whole of the right hand, the whole of the right arm, your chest, upper abdomen, the navel, and the lower abdomen. The left hip, left thigh, left knee, left shin, left ankle, top of the foot, all of the toes, sole of the foot, the whole left foot, the calf, the hamstring, the whole left leg, the right hip, right thigh, right knee, right shin, right ankle, top of the foot, all of the toes, sole of the foot, the whole right foot, the calf, the hamstring, the whole right leg, the pelvic floor, root chakra, just below the navel, sacral chakra, below your sternum, the solar plexus, your heart space, heart chakra. Your throat chakra. Pineal gland. And third eye chakra. Crown of your head. The crown chakra. Feeling into the stillness of your crown. Feeling into the clarity of your third eye. Feeling into the freedom of your throat. Feeling into the wisdom of your heart. Feeling into the power of your solar plexus. Feeling into the creativity of your sacral. Feeling into the safety of your root. Feeling everything. Feeling no thing. Feel them together as one. Time to take a little journey. A journey into space. Just laying as you are. Settling into the greatest space shuttle ever created. Capable of travelling anywhere, in any time. Feel into your body. Your whole body. Feel into the density of the skin. The density of the muscle. The density of the bone. Moving deeper still into the organ. Do we feel the organs? Or do we find freedom from sensation? Even with the knowledge of something being there. Do we find space? Feeling into this space. Feeling into this freedom. expand into this space. A cosmos within. An eternity of atoms spreading out like stars in the sky. You, a universe of atoms, a mere atom in the universe. Melting into the space between spaces. The void within a single atom, between the protons, neutrons, and electrons. 99% empty space, making up everything in the universe. Everything, all at once. Absolutely no way. Allowing your mind to float aimlessly in all directions. No attachment. No rules. No confine. Just space. Exploring the emptiness. Exploring your wholeness within this emptiness. No separation. We are one. Everything, all at once, absolutely no. You are the universe without. You are the atom within. You are no thing. You are everything. Never and forever. In Lakesh, Alaki. You are me, and I am you. Between the stars, between the planets, we find our way back to Earth, back to this space, the arch palm, from the inside out, and from the inside, from the outside in. feeling the atoms fall back into place. Feeling into the natural rhythm of the breath and the way the body gently moves with the breath. As you continue to feel the rhythm, notice the 4 phases of the breath. You inhale, any slight pause at the top. The exhale, maybe a slightly longer pause at the bottom. Shift your awareness to the exhale. Allow yourself to let go and soften with each exhale. Just exploring a sankalpa, an intention for the practice. Just repeating these words silently in your mind's eye after me. I am stardust in its purest form. I am stardust in its purest form. I am stardust in its purest form. And bringing the awareness back to the body. Bringing your awareness to the position in the room. Bringing your awareness to what is in the space around you. Bringing awareness to a little wiggle of the toes. A gentle wiggle of your fingers. And a gentle release of the jaw. Rolling the head off to the left. And bringing it back to center. And off to the left. As it comes back to the middle, take a nice inhale, stretch the arms up overhead, nice long stretch. Tips the fingers all the way down to the tips of the toes. Stretch, 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 stretch. And place the right hand on the belly. The right knee comes in towards the belly. And roll off to the left side. Just taking a moment on the side where possible. Coming back to the body. Back to the breath. Back to your awareness. Back to the Wuji. eyes closed, finding your way up to a comfortable seated position. Hands to heart. Down your back.